January the 27th, and this is the 26th day of my 30-day fast. 4 more days left, and a big decision is going to be made, whether to continue or not to continue. But either way, today is my personal best on my fasting efforts. Again, if you've just joined for the first time, I started my fasting conquest in 2019, I believe it was. And the main purpose for me fasting is to help me deal with my multiple sclerosis diagnosis. I'm dealing with primary progressive multiple sclerosis, and the only form of treatment that they offered was a drug called Ocrevus, which is an intravenous drug. You take it every 6 months, 2-hour treatment through an IV. And other than that, they said just sit back and get worse. So fasting was like a secondary alternative to generating stem cells. That's the main thing that I'm enjoying right now, thinking positive about it. Because prior to this, I actually went to Mexico, Cancun, Mexico, and I was seeking treatment in one of those care facilities that are, I would say, alternative. But the main thing is that stem cells was the product that they were trying to use to treat me. Basically, they had drained some blood and supposedly took stem cells out of my blood and was replacing the stem cells back in me to try to create stem cells so it could deal with the multiple sclerosis. It did not work. Very expensive, but it did give me hope, and it did get me to this point. And so when I came back, I got in contact with a doctor here. We'll mention his name, Dr. Agwal, Mike Agwal, big, tall African guy, 6'7", remind me of Dr. Sabi. I think a lot of people know about him in the nutrition world, but he introduced me to fasting, and he also introduced me to the vibrant therapy machine, which I think has been instrumental in my ability to regain my mobility back. And so, in going through the fasting literature, mostly on YouTube, I ran across some medical doctors, I ran across some non-medical doctors, and but all of them seem to think and suggest and pretty much talk about the promise of fasting, especially long-term fasting. And long-term fasting is anything over 3 days, according to most of the literature out there. Now, there's a lot of benefits to intermittent fasting. There's a lot of benefits for 24-hour fasting, 1 day, 2 day, 1 meal a day, just different forms. But it just seems like the water fasting, prolonged water fasting, is the one thing that seems to be unifying in the conversation that would produce stem cells and also reset your immune system. It was just like almost it could do everything that a drug could do, but it wasn't a drug. And that was exciting because it didn't cost me anything except for the ability to sit down and try. And so here I am, I'm 26 days into 30 days, which will be Wednesday, will be January 31st. So I started this January the 2nd, 2024, day after New Year's. I had my black eyed peas and my traditional New Year's thing, at least, in the black community. And so since January 2nd, today being the 22nd or the 27th, I've been pretty much without, I've been without food. And it almost seems like I'm in a different life right now. And I think if you go back and look at my day one little blog that I put out, I hope you see the difference. I think you will see a difference. And I think you will see an additional difference coming up on Thursday. And that's when I'll do my next physical therapy video and stuff like that. And it's been a good ride. Is it working? Absolutely. Is it working as fast as I want it to work? Not quite. Not quite. You know, and I say it's working not because of I'm feeling good about it. I see it working because I am more mobile. Not only more mobile in the sense that I can get up and do things, right? But as the worst part of this multiple sclerosis journey that I'm dealing with is that there was a point where I was just convinced that I was going to be bedridden. Someone had to take care of me, even just turn me over and stuff like that. I was convinced I would be confined to a wheelchair. I was convinced that I was going to be pretty much put out the pasture. Not saying that that won't happen, but my mindset is not, you know, I'm not seeing that in my future, right? It's nothing worse than not looking forward to the future. And for a while there, I was not looking forward to the future. I kind of hid it, you know, who wants to hear about, you know, doom and gloom? Everybody's got their own crap going on, right? But not wanting to plan, getting up because you was afraid that if you didn't get up, you wouldn't be able to get up, period, you know? So I made it a point to get up every single day and to get out of the house every single day, even though it's a huge struggle for me to get out now. And at least at that time, I could get in and out on my own. It was difficult, but now, you know, I can't even get in and out on my own, but it's slowly getting to the point where that is happening again. So this fasting journey again is is my why. You know, it's like, I'm not gonna say my why, but it was like, if this is, sorry about that. If this is the price for me to pay, you know, 30 days without consuming food so my body can repair itself, right? You know, I'm gonna pay that in full. I'm gonna pay that in full. And I think it kind of makes sense. People tell me how miraculous it is and how difficult, you know, I can't do it. I don't see how you do it and all this. And I, you know, I agree. Don't get me wrong. I really think what I'm doing is something that's difficult, but I'm not the first one to do it. So no, I won't be the last one. And I know there's people who will do it, hopefully because of this, and it's probably already in the process. But if this is the price I have to pay, to me, it's a small price to pay. And it's a difficult price, don't get me wrong, but I think because of the difficulty involved and the sacrifice involved, and then the nature of what I'm doing, I think that what I'm gonna get in return is worth the price that I'm paying to get it, which is 30 or 40 days of fasting, right? Notice I said 40, but right now 30 days of fasting. So then during that 30-day time, right? If you're like me, I'm becoming more and more of the belief that how miraculous the human body is and the thing that it can do if it has the right environment, the right circumstances, the right nourishment. Just, you know, just allow it to do its thing. And I would suggest to you, regardless if you're dealing with MS, if you give your body an opportunity to maintenance itself every day, typically 16 hours a day, that means that you're sleeping for 8, you have an 8-hour period of time which you can eat, and then the additional 8 hours, water or coffee only, or some beverages, right? You might can even do juice. I know I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but all I'm saying is that if you can give your body 16 hours of time to maintenance itself, and you could easily fit 3 well-proportionate meals in 8 hours. And if anybody said that they can't function by eating 3 meals within an 8-hour period of time, you know, I got no. That's you can live with that, and I'll live with, you know, what I believe to be true. So then, so now just go ahead and compound that to like 30 days where your body can start maintenance itself, right? And according to the literature about fasting, right, when you start fasting, it throws your body into a shock. So now your body is trying to do what it naturally wants to do, and that is to survive, right? So in order to do that, what it does is that first it consumes all the things that's in your system, your damaged cells and your pancreas, clean yourself out. And then it does what it's designed to do, in my opinion, and also in the opinion of stuff that I read. It switched over and it starts to use your stored fat as energy, right? So if you have stored fat for energy, and typically, I was listening to Dr. Jason Fung, F-U-N-G. You should YouTube him. I like him. I like him a lot. I mean, he's a medical doctor, and he's a fasting fanatic, and he's just full of medical facts about why fasting does what it does, right? So that means that 30 days of this, with I think the third day, between 48 and 72 hours, that's when the body releases stem cells, right? After, fasting. So if I've been fasting for, who knows how many hours, my body should be just full of stem cells, right? Being released to try to figure out what's wrong to keep the body functioning. And then also too, the best source of fuel that the body can use, not only for functioning, but also for the brain, is going to be ketones, which is your fat, which is metabolic fat that basically serves to maintenance the body in a time that you're not able to eat or you choose not to eat. And at this point, I'm completely operating on those ketones. And I think that's why I don't feel any hunger. I kind of feel like I'm doing something, I'm cheating somehow, but I just don't. And I think for the testimonies that I've heard from people who have fasted for the amount of time that, sorry about that, I got a motion detector light, it keeps going out. But for the people who have fasted for the amount of time that I fasted, that the absence of hunger, like, where I'm at on day 26, is not unusual. And then the energy is not unusual, right? I was to the point today, I'm moving more because I promised myself I would. I don't want to be that person who has the ability to do something but don't do it. But my energy level is just up, my mental energy level is up and my physical. But I'm resisting doing a lot of things physically that I feel like doing. But I think I'm going to kind of let my hair down here in the last 4 days now, because with day being 26, I only have 4 days left. I think I'm going to let my hair down and not just go overboard, but I feel like I can and want to exercise. And Dr. Fung he talked about, do you lose muscle when you fast, right? And the conclusion is no, and here's why. To lose muscle while you're fasting, that means that you're probably started fasting when you had roughly 4 or 5% body fat. You have very low body fat. And so then that means that your body fat has been depleted, and now that your body's starting to consume muscle. I don't know if you can see all of me, but I'm far from 4% body fat. That's one reason why I want to keep on doing this. It's working so well. Oh, let me tell you this story. What happened last night. So last night I'm sleeping, me and my wife in the bed, right? And all of a sudden I feel this hand going across my stomach. Then I can feel it going across my rib cage, going on my back arm, right? Hand just all over me. I'm like, oh my God, what's this woman's doing? And it was almost like, she was on the Discovery Channel, and she said, oh my God, this fast thing is really working. And she said, your stomach is almost gone, which I think I felt that way because I was laying flat, but it's still there, don't get me wrong, but I'm working on it. But that was just such a huge recognition. I could see the difference, I could feel the difference, I'm sure she could too, but it was just like I could feel her hands on my ribs and stuff like that. I could feel my stomach not being there, and it was just reassuring. Even though the weight is going to be a byproduct of what I want, or the weight loss is going to be a byproduct of what I'm really looking for. But I think it's a part of it, because without the extra weight, it really allows me to move around and not have to work so hard to do things because, I'm lighter. And, according to Dr. Fung too, you can build muscle more intense by exercising when you're fasting and, definitely before you feed, right? Because he mentioned Terry Crews. If you search this thing, you'll see it. Maybe I'll put some links on here at some point. But if you look, he got a picture of Terry Crews on the podcast. It's only like 9 minutes, but it asks or answers the question, do you lose muscle while you fast, right? You gotta see it for yourself, because I think that's a big misconception that you will lose muscles. But, he makes the argument that the way the body does is that it stores fat for lean times when food is scarce, right? So if it's got stored fat there waiting to be processed for times when you're not able to or choose not to eat, it would be almost illogical for it to automatically start consuming muscle when you got stored energy and fat there. But it was an interesting argument. But it just keeps on propelling me to get deeper and deeper into fasting. And something, when you get passionate about something, it's easier to share the word for it and also to be a proponent of it. But it's all good. It's all good. Looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be day 27. It'll be Sunday, of course. But one thing about fasting, the weekends are hard, right? Because today I wasn't hungry, but I definitely wanted to eat. I just wanted to eat just to be sociable, but here's the thing. I was like, I'm thinking about what do I actually want to eat, and nothing really came to mind. I just wanted to eat something, period. Not because I was hungry, not because I was energy deficient or anything like that. Just wanted to eat something, eat something good. But I didn't, and now it's about 4:30 here. I'm here at my office, and when you're fasting, like as long as I am, isolation, it becomes like your friend. You kind of like enjoying being alone because you don't have the pressure of socializing, eating, and stuff like that, and you can just really get in tune with yourself. So, long ramble, but it's all good, guys. Day 26. Again, this is my personal best. Prior to this, it was 24 days, and right now, going into day 27, looking pretty strong. Day 30, I think I got it under wraps. I'll check in tomorrow. Until then, see you guys later. Bye.